All right, everybody, welcome back to the Pumpkin Show. It's your girl Pumpkin, as always. I know there has been a drought, and you can blame COVID, but I'm back, and we're not leaving again. Studio back open, everything's back popping. So, thank you for everyone who is tuned in. I do have a special guest with me today. This is Mr. E.
Hey, she said Mr. E. Okay.
A Mr. It's with an A, right?
Yeah.
Mr.
But, you know, I like the I like the proper route too.
So it's Mr. E, and for those of you who don't know who Mr. E is, he is basically a director here in Dallas, and he is filming a big movie, and we'll get into all of that. But before we get into anything, I do want to point out, I want to make sure everyone goes and vote. It's very important that we go and vote. I know y'all seen what happened the other day with that debate, and you just gotta get out there and vote. You must be registered to vote by October 5th, so this is the last weekend. So y'all make sure y'all register to vote. It's so important. We gotta vote. So I just want to put that out there. Make sure everyone goes vote. That's the most important thing. So let's get right into it. So we got Mr. E here, who is a director. So where you from?
I'm actually born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Oakcliff to be exact. Highland Hills if we want to get real exact.
Everybody from Dallas from Oakcliff. Y'all ain't got no other hoods in Dallas?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But you know, Oakcliff, that's my hood. You know what I'm saying?
Oakcliff is pretty big though. From what I've seen, it does stretch pretty far.
First of all, I introduce myself. I'm a director. And in most cases, directors don't really pick up cameras. But
they usually get into their film stuff first and then transition. So you just went right into directing.
Well, actually, I come from the producer world. So ever since I was like 14 years old, I was a producer. The artist that most people know me by is Big Chief. And so I did a lot of work with Big Chief, and worked with pretty much everybody out here from the Road, T Cash, Young Nation, Ricochet. Shout out to Ricochet, that's my bro. I mean, man, some of everybody out here, man. Even got to work a little bit with Mo3, all the way down to Yo Gotti and Boosie and Rick Ross. So that's the era that I came from, and that's the road that I came from, and I just kind of went from producing to filmmaking.
That was a good era in Dallas.
You
mentioned Young Nation and all that. That was a very good era in Dallas.
Yeah, it was, man. Shout out to him.
Definitely had my high school years very lit.
Oh, yeah. So, you're young. You're a baby. Bless your heart.
I'm definitely a baby. But I'm old now. I mean, I didn't 2020 10-year high school reunion.
So I think the people want to know, how old are you?
How old am I? So I just had a birthday, August 23rd, which I am, of course, a Virgo, but I just turned 28. So I'm 28.
Bless your heart.
And I feel like that's old as hell, honestly. That's damn near 30.
No, you a baby. If you say you was lit on Young Nation in high school, you a baby.
Well, I guess so. So for those who don't know, like, what is a director stance? What does a director do?
Okay, so to put it in layman terms, a director is the guy that people praise when the film is good and people blame when the film is bad.
Okay.
So
are you just like pointing fingers, like, I want this done, I want you to do this, I want to do you? Because that's what I think. When I think of director, like they're directing the set.
No, actually, a director is more the responsibility of the look and the feel of the film. Okay, so a lot of times you have a producer that says, "Yo, I got an idea, I want to do a film," and they hire a director, and a director is responsible for putting all the components together to and allocate responsibilities to get the film done, and he kind of like oversees the look and the feel of the film to make sure it's as accurate as it could be.
That seems like a tough shoe to wear.
It can be.
So is this I know you have a movie coming out called TripleD Revenge.
Absolutely.
So what's that about? What's that going to be about?
Without going too far into it, it's actually a sequel of a film I came out with about 6 years ago called the TripleD movie. Okay, so basically it's about a guy that realizes that he had a family member that was executed wrongfully, and he's up against an opponent that everybody fears. So now, with all these obstacles against him, he has to figure out a way to maneuver his way into the camp and get some type of redemption for him and his family.
Sounds a good idea. A sequel?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So how'd you go? I mean, did you have any part of like the casting or anyone who like did you cast anyone for this movie? Like, what are some of the big people that you got coming into this movie without giving us too much?
I was gonna say, I don't want to go too far into it because there's a certain way that I want to unveil that, but it's definitely some familiar faces. I did my best to keep it as Dallas as possible, but we do have some actors and actresses from other places, and shout out to them. Shout out to the whole cast. But I'm excited about the team. I think it's a pretty solid team.
I think it's gonna be a good look. I think it's definitely gonna be a good. Is this something that, I mean, are we gonna get it to be able to view it in like local theaters or?
I plan on doing all of the above. So it's definitely worth putting a few dollars back from your paycheck.
That's what's up. Did COVID put a pause to any of your filming or anything?
No, it actually helped.
Wow, explain that.
Well, the reason why it helped is because, whenever you're filmmaking, you're against the clock. And COVID kind of paused the clock a little bit, because people stopped moving around and it gave us an opportunity to kind of get ahead of the gate, you know what I'm saying? So, it gave me a little more opportunity to work on the script and work on the writing and the execution and all that type of stuff. So actually, to be honest with you, it helped a lot.
That's good. So you do have a part of the writing as well.
I actually wrote it.
Wrote the whole thing.
Yes. Shout out to my screenplay writer, Daniel Tuttle. He, sort of helped me with the screenplay a little bit. But yeah, the story is 100% by me.
Where'd you get your inspiration from?
I was inspired, honestly, by the first film. We didn't think that it would have the momentum and the traction and the success that it had. And so under those circumstances, it just did better than we thought we was going to do. And I was just like, wow. And then that's when I figured out this is what I want to do.
That's what's up. I'm glad you found your niche and you sticking with it. Okay. And shout out to all the black directors out there, anyone who's doing anything in media or film. So when can we expect TripleD Revenge to be released?
To be announced. Because I don't want to put anything out there, but we're not going to rush it. But we're not going to drag our feet either. So sooner than later. It's a long time coming, so sooner than later.
All right. So, what are some of the faces that you? What are some of the things that you face as being a director?
That's a good question.
Some of the challenging things you face.
That's a good question. I think the most challenging thing that I can think of is dealing with people.
Like with every profession, huh?
Just dealing with people. Everybody has their own separate agenda and what they want to get out of it. And sometimes it's not the same agenda that you have. And sometimes it manifests in the actions and their work ethic and all that. But honestly, I'm grateful because all in all, I got a pretty good group of people. And I can't say that enough. Like, I'm thankful for that. People that really want to work. But I would say dealing with people and also dealing with circumstances that you can't control. In any situation, any business, any venture, you're always going to have some variables and circumstances that you can't control, But, not just being a director, but a leader, you just try to find a way to maneuver and pray.
Yeah, and keep it positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up. How many people, crews would you say that you're over? I feel like when you're making any type of movie or film, you have to have camera crew. There's hair and makeup people. You got lighting people. So are you literally have to go out and scout every single group of these people, or you had a lot of help to bring all these folks in to make this possible?
You know what? I have a good crew, and crew is just the people behind the camera. So all those people you mentioned are behind the camera, but I have a group, a good nucleus of people. Shout out to, I don't want to leave nobody out, but shout out to my associate director, shout out to my assistant, shout out to my first assistant director, script supervisor, man, everybody. I have a good group of people. So even though it's not 400 of us or 150 of us, I have a good solid team, and they really helping bring things together and make it a little easier.
Make the bigger picture work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do you see, what's your direction? How do you forecast, where would you be in 5 years? What's the goal?
The goal is to definitely have a film powerhouse where we have all type of diverse films and connect with a lot of different audiences and people. I think connection is the goal.
connection. You think all of this will be possible in Dallas, or you think you'll have to move around eventually to get where you want to be?
You know, even if I move around, at the end of the day, because I'm from Dallas, as far as I'm concerned, it'll always be from Dallas. And I think that it's possible to do it from Dallas. If I relocate, it's just temporary. At the end of the day, I represent Dallas. So
that's a good thing to have. You know, I'm always pushing for there just to be more of a media presence in Dallas, period. I know a lot of people, once they feel like in order to make it, you have to move around from Dallas. So it's good to see that you're from Dallas.
Absolutely.
And you're trying to keep it here and, you know, give people jobs in Dallas and do something for Dallas. Because, I mean, I don't personally know any other, is there like a big field of black directors here in Dallas or?
I know quite a few black directors. It's definitely a lot of talent in Dallas. Matter of fact, I went to go see a movie this past weekend. I think it was this past weekend. I went to a movie premiere. No, it was Thursday. I went to a movie premiere. Shout out to Arthur Muhammad. He is the director of the Carter film, Carter High.
Okay.
And I really like that film, and I also like the film that they did this weekend called Murder Mamas.
I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of flyers for it.
But the film was good, and I really appreciated being able to walk into a theater with my people and you know, watch this film directed by a Dallas director. So that always feels good. I love the support.
That's what's up. We gotta keep that momentum going. We gotta keep you know, all these black folks continue to stay in film, and it's like we can get really far with it. Do you feel what do you feel like as far as advice, if there's anyone up and coming who wants to do something like you're doing, what type of advice would you give them?
I would definitely advise to first of all, make up your mind if that's something that you really want to do, because there's a lot of obstacles. And then after that, do as much homework as you can, get as much support as you can from your people, and man, just bust it wide open. To be honest with you, just bust it wide open.
Bust it wide open. Y'all heard that, kids?
But I mean, you know, and what I mean by that is bust that door wide open. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no for an answer.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, it ain't nothing that I can't do.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we need that confidence. You need to have it. I definitely think that's a big part of being successful.
Yeah.
So that's really good. So with this whole TripleD, are y'all good? You still looking for extras? Like, where could people, like, what can they do to be a part of this film?
That's a good question. So we start filming this upcoming week, and we're going to need extras Tuesday. At Ace of Dallas. A lot of people call it Ace of Diamonds, but it's actually called Ace of Dallas. I was corrected about a couple of days ago. But
Ace of Dallas. What's
that's
that?
That's Ace of Diamonds. It's a
strip club?
Yeah, it's a strip club.
Like, pretty much sounds like one.
Yeah, it's a strip. So are you from
I'm
Dallas?
from Fort Worth.
Okay,
so,
okay.
You know, Fort Worth don't barely cross it there. But the thing is, I live downtown Dallas now. I've been there for like almost 2 years. So Dallas has opened their arms to me and showed me so much love. So
absolutely.
I mess with Dallas.
Man, shout out to Funky Town, man.
For sure, shout out to Funky Town.
Can we cuss on here? I just, you know,
you can curse.
Okay,
you can do whatever you want.
I just want to make sure I kept it PG. But we, you know, this is a good time to crank that up, man. I really fuck with the funk, man.
That's what's up. What makes you fuck with the funk like that?
Man, I got history with Fort Worth. I had some family out there. I got some people out there, and then not only that, but during the Big Chief era, which was before your time.
Big Chief was not before my time.
but during the Big Chief era, man, Funky Town was one of our biggest supporting cities. You know what I'm saying? So I used to love to go out there and do shows, man. I fuck with the funk.
Yeah, Fort Worth, they coming up. It's not little popping little artists now coming out of Fort Worth doing their thing.
You know what? Matter of fact, we did a audition. We did a casting call and audition in Fort Worth, and I can't even sit here and lie. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the one in Dallas, but I really enjoyed the one in Fort Worth.
Where did you have it at?
We had a blast. It was actually in Hearst.
Hearst, the Burbs.
At Sound Session. I mean, at Session Works. I'm sorry, Session Works. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to Jeff and Session Works, and man, they really was hospitable with us. But Fort Worth always hospitable, man.
That's good to hear. You don't hear that too much, so that's really great to hear. Shout out to the Funk, as always. Coming through. So we got TripleD Revenge coming out. We don't have a date yet, but it's to be announced. I can imagine it's going to be very big.
But there's a lot of shit you can ask me. Don't get personal. Like, shit, is it gonna be good? Is it whack?
Well, I mean, I feel like would you give me the true opinion? If I say if it's gonna be good, of course you're gonna say it's gonna be good.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, will it be good?
It's subjective. No, it ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
I'm fucking with you. But so let's go down through there, man. I didn't speed. Look, I was going 100 miles per hour. Terrence, you hear me? I was going 100 miles per hour trying to get here from Red Oak. You know what I'm saying? So we can go down through there.
But
man, you know what? I try not to be late, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I try not to be late is because I impress upon my cast and the crew. You cannot be late in film. You're spending hundreds and most of the time thousands of dollars a day. You cannot be late. There's no such thing as late. We don't. Yeah, it's too many variables.
Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of all this like, how do you have like sponsors who sponsor this movie, or is this just like all straight out of pocket?
That's a good question. We always looking for sponsors. We always looking for financing and all that type of stuff. But the short answer to that is we get it how I live. If you don't have a $10 million, $15 million budget, then you're getting it how you live in this industry. Okay, they literally consider anything under $10 million low budget.
Under $10 million?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So, we get it how we live, but hopefully, we put something together and then come back and get a $30-40 million budget. I think that's possible, Terrence. You know what I'm saying?
Get the full. Yeah. Profit off. I don't even know the word for it. I'm like, it ain't break even, but I mean, like.
Nah, we want to double up and triple up. Yeah, we want to double up and triple up.
I think it's possible. I think you got the city support. I think I've seen a lot of different things. I know you did the Real Life Street Star auditions. Y'all. So I sent him an audition too. And hopefully he don't show nobody, not never.
The reason why she don't want me to show nobody is because she naked. And I'm like, can you send me an audition with clothes on?
He is lying.
I don't know if you read the script, but I don't think we got that type of scene. Can you do me a favor?
He is
do it
lying.
again. Let me erase this one. Send me an audition with clothes on.
Y'all, I did my
So you don't want me to expose that? You don't want me to tell everybody?
Yeah, you can do it
because it's gonna go viral.
If
you don't confess now, it's about to go viral in 5, 4.
Hey, have him send it because I sent it directly to his email.
I'm just messing.
Yeah, they know. It
was a good audition.
Naked.
It was a good audition.
But like, I literally tried, y'all. I did my whole Grey's Anatomy skit, and like, he didn't even hit me back about it. So
the devil is so busy today. This is your first time back. Because the enemy just gonna attack. Now I sure did hit you back. You asked me. You said, well, I hit you back late, but you asked me. You said, hey, you didn't get back at me. I said, you know what? I sure did, but there was a but after that. I was like, it was good, and then of course that's when you told me about the show and everything. And I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here, though. Real talk. I really appreciate what you're doing. I feel like it's really big. I encourage everyone who has anything that they love to do to just really go out and chase it, and you can make a difference. I've seen it happen so many times on this show. It's been so many people I've interviewed, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, look at you.
Straight up, man. That's motivation for me.
Yeah,
that's motivation for me, man. I came in the studio and I was like, whoa, this is nice. Shout out to Terrence, you know what I'm saying? It was very hospitable. I said, this is nice. I expected to come in here and find a raggedy desk.
Why?
And
but honestly,
a half drink bottle of water. You won't rinse your hands off.
Oh, you tried.
I didn't know how.
That's probably that Oakcliff stuff. Honestly, I'm just being honest. It's probably some stuff you didn't experience in Oakcliff.
I just shouted out Fort Worth and then you came right back. Okay, let that be the reason.
But I mean, a lot of people said that. See, like I feel like a lot of people have. It's the Punkin Show. Like,
it's the Punkin Show. It's top of the line. I like that. I like that.
What else can you expect?
I like that.
I'm really proud of you though. So like, you got to go all in forth with this. We got to do something to where we can get. I feel like they need to implement something in school to where we get more people who want to be into film and directing and doing movies or anything in film, period.
Right.
So,
right.
I think what you're doing is really good, especially for Dallas, and I can't wait to see what this movie is. I can't believe I never heard of the sequel, but then again,
the first one.
Yeah,
You said the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you under the rock because there's a lot of people that heard of the first TripleD movie.
I'm sure they did TripleD movie, but like probably
so you can
some Dallas folks.
So
sure.
yeah, everybody just let y'all know, man. Y'all can go on YouTube and search it. I got mad because they was tampering with my video.
Who, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube be on it.
I got mad about it, but we had some other people that put it up. So all you have to do is go to YouTube and search the TripleD movie, and it'll come up, man. Y'all check that out. It was
Who was in the TripleD movie?
A lot of the artists that was doing some things at the time, and just people that I had worked with. So we had Big Chief, we had Dero Music, we had Bebe. Shout out to Bebe. We had Fat Pimp in there. We had Little, we had Little Man. Who else? Who else did I didn't name? Mr. Lucci.
Okay.
Man, I'm glad Mr. Lucci is home. He did an excellent job.
Yeah, a little flake, but
yours truly. Yours truly was in it. Did I name all the artists? I think that's most.
That's a good roster right there. So I'm looking forward to this new roster because for sure, Fat Pimp. He's been on the show. He was like the first when we did it here.
Fat Pimp I like Fat Pimp. He's my boy, man. He's
that's my biggie.
Yeah, straight up.
I mess with Fat Pimp. He should have been blue out. I don't know what.
Nah, Fat Pimp is extremely talented. He's
yeah,
extremely talented.
He should have been out of here. He did all the hits for me growing up.
Nah, for real.
You still got any contact with Young Nation? I heard you bring them up. They in Cali right now, right?
I usually keep a little more contact with Fame than B Reed. I think Fame is going back and forth. Fame always kind of doing this thing and doing a whole lot of networking and stuff like that.
That's always good. Networking can change your life. For sure.
You know what? If it wasn't for networking, I wouldn't have been able to pull off the first TripleD, and I wouldn't have been able to pull off this one.
It just seems like a lot of work. I'm just trying to see what type of work ethic you got. Like, are you like the mean director? Are you like the cool one? Or do you have like certain points that if they cross this line, it's a wrap?
I'm actually kind of glad that you brought that up because there's this thing, just this week, there's this thing going around where everybody's like, well, yeah, Mr. E gonna fire you. He fire people. And then he's like, but you know what? The truth is, people don't understand that acting is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's something that there's no shortcuts to. It's kind of like being an NBA, a professional ball player, or in the NBA, NFL, anything like that. Like, you have to be built for it, and the seasoning. It doesn't start like when you decide you want to do it. It starts from almost birth. So acting, everybody looks at the final product when they see stuff on TV and say, "Oh, that's easy." And it's not. People are not giving people $30 million to do something easy. Okay, $10 million, $5 million to do something easy. So it just takes a lot of discipline, and I just try to pull the best out of the people around me.
And if not, they fire.
No, not necessarily. The only time I really will fire somebody is if I figure out that this is not at the top of their priority list. And the main reason why is because it's not fair for the people who this is, who got this at the top of their priority list. It's not fair, so I don't really take pride in like getting rid of nobody and nothing like that, man. I look forward to being able to give people a platform to really show that it's a lot of new talent.
They just know you ain't messing around. Yeah, take it super serious.
Yeah,
I can get it. A lot of people would think like if they're doing something in their element or something that they're used to doing, the acting can't be easy for them. But
right, true.
I know it's a full job. On top of memorizing lines and everything like that, I think like that's probably the hardest part with acting. It's like trying to memorize all these scripts and have it like packed in your head.
Oh man, and memorizing is just 30% of the job. Oh yeah, that's just 30%.
Y'all be watching for like that eye contact and the cameras and stuff.
Oh, yeah, everything. It's a total. It's a total mind fuck. That's the best way I could put it. It's a total mind fuck because you literally have to do some mental work when it comes to your perspective on the plot and your perspective on the character.
Yeah, you have to literally be that character. Like some people I know, when I looked at some of their documentaries who are actors and actresses, they're strict with it. Like they stay that character even when they go home. Like whenever they film, like that's the character that they're gonna be for a certain amount of months or however long it is.
Absolutely.
So I know that's very intense.
Absolutely.
Have you ever, just out of curiosity, I always wanted to know, like,
ask me the curious questions. Come on, man, come on.
have you ever considered doing like the sex scenes thing? Because I always feel like that was awkward. Like these cameras are on, all these people are watching you, and it's just like action.
Okay. Well, are you talking about me as an actor or me as a director?
As a director.
Okay, as a director.
I didn't know there was a you as an actor.
Well, because you said you said would you consider doing sex scenes? So I was like,
oh no,
yeah, because I'm fat. You don't want me to do a sex scene. No, ain't nobody gonna see that movie. But the thing is, I mean, even with love making scenes, that's a good question. Everybody wants to know that. It's not even about love making scenes as much as when you're an actor, you're very vulnerable, but you have to have no problem being exposed. Okay. And this is literally what I tell my cast, you know. So love making is no different. It's like, you know, obviously you have to find a connection with you and that person. And yeah, you got to find a comfort level with the lights and with the camera and everything. But the good thing is love scenes kind of turn you up. It turns you up real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess everyone references Halle Berry and Monster Ball.
Yeah.
I feel like all that she's done is always Halle Berry and Monster Ball. So I guess love scenes can turn you up. I always feel like that would probably be the weirdest.
That's why you remember.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel like that's the weirdest thing I've said. I always been like, that got to be super awkward. They're sitting here, you know, doing all this and all this cast is watching. And
well, it's definitely, it's like anything else. It's definitely a gift. It's definitely a gift. When you're an actor, you leave yourself very vulnerable. Because what you're doing is you're speaking on behalf of the audience and speaking on behalf of the people, and that's a big responsibility. So you have to be vulnerable. You have to open yourself and let people see your flaws and let them see the stuff that everybody else don't want to expose. You know.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess that is true. I've always wondered, well, a lot of the stuff that goes into these movies, especially like when you deal with females, a lot of times they like to strip them bare, like not too much makeup in movies. It doesn't seem like, like they have like more of a natural approach in movies.
Right.
And that seems like it could be a hard thing.
No, you know, movies are about not only connection, but relating. Okay, so not every woman wears a bunch of makeup. So you want to be able to relate to the woman that doesn't. And to the women that do, you want to encourage them that maybe they don't have to do it, you know, every single day.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's just a lot that goes into it. It takes like a very serious work ethic too.
Right, forgive me. You know what? I will say that I do this 20 hours out the day. I sleep 4 and I do it 20.
20.
Yes, when you came and got me, I was on the phone.
Wow.
So, yeah.
20 hours a day. That's a different type of commitment.
Yeah, it definitely takes commitment. If you don't have commitment, I don't know if they'll be cut out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it, though. I definitely see it. I think all this is dope, everything I'm learning about, all this behind-the-scenes stuff that I always wanted to know about. So that's really dope, and I'm really glad that you're doing all of this. Now, is this going to be I'm assuming this would be like a majority black cast, correct?
I don't want to expose too much. I mean, you know, if you visualize the movie in your head too much, then why go see it, right?
Yeah, I get it. But like, come on now, black cast. I mean, have you worked with, you know, different white people? Has it been easy? Has it been different? Because I see like, even when I watch some type of music videos and they like cast like these white people to play like these, you know, sometimes racist or weird roles, I would say. Has it been hard trying to transition, like when you bring in, I don't know, once again, we don't know if it's all black cast, but if you were to bring white people onto the cast, has there ever been like like you have to make them comfortable? Is there anything that you have to do different? Do you have to have a conversation with your people? Or like, is there any type of, how do you bridge that gap to make them feel comfortable?
That's a good question. And I think that varies by the individual. I don't even think it has anything to do with race as it does just the individual. Now, I'm going to keep it real, and they're going to stone me for this one, but actors are weird.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah.
are. They sit there and
Yeah,
laugh at each other's face at them improv classes. They're definitely weird.
They're weird, but they're very gifted, and they have a special set of skills.
They can
So
like
I
it.
deal with a lot of different personalities, and very rarely does it have to do with race. Most of the time, it has to do with either a personality or they're just usually just who that person is. But the good thing about it is one language that we all share is acting. You know, in film. So as long as we could talk the same language on that, then at some point we can get on the same page.
Just getting a job done.
Yeah. We got some more. Hey, I remember you mentioning hen. We got some more hen.
Crown. I got Patron.
That's cognac. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Can you hear me the Patron?
Oh no. You got some more Patron though. As a matter of fact,
yeah.
go take your shot or something.
I'm like, I am. You okay?
You know, you start to get loose with your questions. Go take a shot.
No, I'm
man.
always loose. I
That's
just try to
good.
get my people to warm up. You know, a lot of people
I
don't
don't
like
need to warn you. Shoot, I don't need
Yeah,
to
you
warm up.
do. Everybody say that, and then they eventually start opening up more.
Oh, shit, man. Listen, you can ask me whatever.
So you made me put out. Oh, thank you, T. You didn't have to do all that. You made me put out my age,
Square beans.
right?
Look, yeah, that
Make
was
sure
pretty
you call
cool.
you a shot for that too.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Terrence. Shout out to T.
So since you made me put out my age, how old are you?
How do I look? Let's get to the real.
I'll give you your 30s.
No, you gotta narrow it down more than that. How old do I look?
I mean, based on you
I ain't
saying
gonna
who
take
you
it.
worked with.
Okay, I ain't gonna tell you. Nah, you can't use them context clues. I mean, how old do I look? How old do I look?
I'll give you like 30, 35.
35? Okay, that's pretty good. That's good,
35.
bro.
Now, what's the real age?
37.
Okay.
All right.
I got you some leeway.
You did give me some leeway. But most of the time, without knowing all that other information, most people think that I'm either like 20s or early 30s. But I'll take 35.
That's still good because I mean, like, me personally, I just don't know no one who's out here doing nothing like that at this age.
That makes sense. Well, I appreciate that.
We need to do more. There needs to be more highlighted things. We need to do like more networking events to get kids involved in film. Like, have you ever went back and like spoke at schools and try to see, you know?
You know what? I would go if somebody invited me. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I qualify quite yet.
You don't have to.
But if somebody
gotta
invite me,
qualify.
if somebody
I feel
invite
like
me,
that's what makes it kids. Like when I was growing up, I always wanted to see people who I could relate to. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, like we look alike. You got the same background.
Right.
Like we can talk, and I
Right.
feel comfortable open up to you. So I feel like a lot of times they bring these poster people into schools, and it makes it more unrealistic. But I feel like we got to get back, you know, just into the community because there is in Dallas. Period, we're lacking a media attention. We lacking a lot. And Terrence, you know, I always ask every rapper who comes up here, and they all feel the same when it comes to growing in Dallas.
Right.
They all feel like they had to leave to get better. And I always feel like if someone came and invested all their money into Dallas from either a record label or film production or anything like that, we wouldn't have to always move around and do different things.
That's an interesting standpoint. My standpoint with that is, at the end of the day, it's really about the individual. When you dope, you're just dope. You know, when the Cowboys won, we didn't have to go to another city.
But y'all was the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it took a lot
Right.
to get the Cowboys. So it's just like that initial hype. Like that initial,
Right.
everyone has to go network with someone in Cali, Atlanta, New York to bring this. They always move away. I mean, I don't know Yella's story. Maybe Yella moved around. I feel like he had to move around a little.
Hell no.
He ain't move a little. He ain't,
well,
I know he did some stuff in Atlanta and stuff.
Well, see, what I'm saying is, like, he never had to live anywhere else. Well, every artist has to move around in order to be
Because
exposed.
I know Pimp had a whole, Fat Pimp had a whole thing with Warner Brothers and moving around.
So
and,
now, when you talk music, you know that's my language.
okay,
We can
let's talk
that
it
all
because I
day.
know music.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is, no matter who you are, you have to conquer your home city.
First.
Now, right. Now, there's some exceptions.
You're right, because I'm like Cash Page. No one really knew about her until she blew.
Well, so there's some exceptions. Sometimes if you can get a cosign from somebody outside of the city, then sometimes they can bend the rules a little
Yeah.
bit. But for the most part, if you're getting it out the mud and you're really trying to build a core audience, then what these PDs are going to do is make a phone call to your hometown to see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Before they decide they want to get behind you. So at the end of the day, the streets or the internet, however you want to look at it, the streets is where your foundation is, and that's what's going to be responsible for really getting where you're going. You know, in this day and age, you don't even need necessarily the radio. You
At
know what
all.
I'm saying? And that's because they built the structure to where the streets is going to determine, you know, how solid you are, and if they want to get behind you, and if the streets get behind you, then it don't matter what
It's a
anybody
wrap.
else say. Yeah.
What
straight
are
up.
some methods you use to promote your movies?
The movie, the internet.
The internet?
Because we came out with the TripleD movie in 2014, and at that moment, that's when the internet was really kind of just starting to
Well, no Instagram or nothing like that yet.
No. It was Instagram. It was definitely Instagram.
2014?
Instagram was a matter of fact.
That's when only iPhone users could have it, right?
Man, Instagram been out since 2011 or 12.
Really?
I think 2012. Early 2012, Instagram been out. So, 2014, that was most of the responsibility of our traction was Instagram. Yeah.
So you use internet to promote everything.
No. We did do commercial. We did do radio. We did do clubs and personalities, and we went through promoters, and we did have posters. We had billboards. We had a whole campaign. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, the buzz in this day and age usually come from the internet.
It definitely
Social
do come
media.
to the internet.
Yeah, social
How was your
media.
experience with the radio? Or do you how was your experience now? Is there any time now that you try to network with the radio? Do they give you any pushback? They want you to spend money?
Well, what it is we're not really in the marketing and promotion stage yet of the film. So I could probably tell you that once we get there. Yeah. But now the first film, the radio was very supportive, mainly because you got all these artists from Dallas that been on the radio, that had rotation, and shout out especially K104, man. They really got behind it. But not only
Like K104 for sure.
but 97.9 too. 97.9. They got behind it. So we got a lot of support from the radio.
got their
More than I
times.
expected.
Yeah,
So
they
that
got
was
their
cool.
time. We're supposed to have Jay Cruz in the building next week. We'll see what he got to say about it.
So listen, I'm gonna give y'all a stock of stuff for real quick. So Jay Cruz was actually in the first TripleD movie,
Oh, really?
and we edited him out.
Oh,
But I think that was his wishes. Because we had some shit going in the first TripleD movie. We had some drugs and
oh yeah.
You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
trying to.
he
Yeah.
was trying to keep it political, man. Shout out to Jay Cruz. You know what
Jay
I'm
Cruz
saying?
real
But just know that I ain't forgot.
Hey, I mean, I guess people be thinking about their career and stuff and be trying to put that. Do you have to pay or cash out on any of these artists if you play their song in your movie? Like, what's they stipend for that?
It just depends. The good thing about it is because I come from the music world, man, really it's been relationships. I haven't really had any artists to say, look, either is this amount of money or I'm not giving you the license to use this in the movie. You know, I had some decent enough relationships with artists where they was like, I know you're good for it. I know it's gonna do me some good. Here you go, man. Here's the paperwork. So,
And artists got the right to do that. They don't have to go through like all the people who be over them. They can really just say, oh,
no. It just depends on who owns the masters. Some of these artists are independent, and they own their own masters, and some of them have labels. And I had to go through the labels. Yeah.
that is so much work. You got to talk to.
It's
It's
a
so
lot
many
of
people
work.
you got to talk to. Like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
my God.
it's a lot of work, but I mean, if you want something done,
We need to write a book. We need to know steps, like how to start our movie.
I can give it to you. I can give it to you.
For real. I need to get into this book writing. Folks on this New York New York Times sellers for just giving out. I even seen some dudes doing like OnlyFans giving out advice.
Absolutely.
Like literally just giving out advice on their OnlyFans.
Absolutely. I mean, any way to monetize your knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, knowledge is priceless. So, no, that makes sense.
All
I'll
right.
pay.
Can we get one actor on the movie? Because I already know one, but can we get one?
If you know one, then go ahead and say you're one.
All right. I'll just say I only know Andre because he was on the show and we kind of
But then
discussed it.
we're going to do Andre. Shout out to Andre Dean.
Andre Dean.
Shout out to Andre Dean. He was also in
Carter.
Carter High. He was also in Carter High. I always liked his character in Carter High. Me personally, I did, man. So shout out to Andre Dean, man. Hopefully he can see this.
Yeah, he better. Andre better. No, Andre wasn't really good. He put me on a lot of game with all the acting stuff. He kind of was the one who kind of got me interested in it.
Cool.
I definitely feel like I'm very theatrical.
I can see that.
So
I can see that.
I've been definitely trying to do this movie thing, but Andre's helped a lot. He gave me a lot of different things that he used and different, I guess, websites and stuff they use to promote himself to get different gigs. So for sure, shout out to Andre. Can we get a rapper? Is there a rapper in this movie?
You said one. I heard her say one. I'm keeping tabs.
I gave you Andre. No, I said Andre.
I ain't had that much hand. I
gave Andre.
I gave you one.
I gave Andre.
I'm just saying.
All right. We can move on. So, who was the worst person you had to work with
In the film?
in the film industry?
Oh, in the film industry.
Yeah.
Let me think on it. I mean, like,
You know.
I need about 10 seconds. The worst person. You know what? I'm being totally honest.
Here
I
they
really
go. They
no,
gonna
listen to me. The only people that I had bad experiences with was probably somebody, not even everybody, but somebody I had to let go. Which in that case, I wouldn't bring their name up if I had to let them go, because that wouldn't be fair.
They
You know what I'm
really
saying?
been
So
out.
it's not even that I wouldn't say it. It's just that I want to be fair to them. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anyone who we gotta treat like they're Hollywood? Like, do anybody come on set trying to act Hollywood like they're big and everyone they want, grapes in their room or?
You know what? I'm thankful because I haven't really dealt with that.
That's really good.
I will say that I got a couple of decent acts on the film that's really doing their thing, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you one.
Okay.
Like for example, Mo 3.
Okay.
Mo 3. Shout out to Mo 3, man.
He seems like a cool guy.
He really surprised me, and I never got Hollywood from him,
Yeah,
and
you
that's a
should.
big deal. That's a big deal because I think that he's at the pinnacle of his career. You know what I'm saying? And he could be Hollywood, but he's not.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Mo 3.
Yeah, Mo's still out here in these streets, so
Yeah.
I guess that's Mo. Shout out to you, Mo 3, and everything you got going on and all your little Boosie collabs. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, he got a hot little single with I'm getting old.
Me
with,
too.
But that Broken Love with Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates and man, that joint to me, man, that's one of my favorite joints. I ain't gonna even lie.
With Kevin
Don't even
Gates?
have nothing to do with him being part of the movie. I like that joint. He know it.
That's what's up. Shout out to Mo 3. And shout out to T. Jones, Free T. Jones. I know he had a song with Kevin Gates. He is currently serving his time that he spoke about on the show. So
Free my guy.
hopefully T. Jones be out of here soon. Free you
my
till
guy.
it's backwards.
Yeah, straight up.
But that's dope. So do you have to have any type of licenses when you go on to film at these different locations?
You supposed to,
You're supposed to.
but I be breaking the law.
Okay. You got to. You got to do what you
know
got to do.
So watch this, man. So I'm gonna be honest. First of all, you should obtain licensing everywhere, because sometimes it cancels out your insurance if you got insurance. But man, at the end of the day, I'm a nigga, man. I can have $10 million. I'm not gonna pay for that. I'm not
Makes
gonna pay for
sense.
that. Man, I pay taxes for that. You want me to pay for the
The
film,
film
now,
right
too?
here.
And it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. So I'm different, but under the right circumstances, depending on how much I got to lose, I will go ahead and obtain a license, depending on the kind of budget that the film got.
And do you have to like block out certain things? I'm sure there's so many laws you can't have like certain like brands in the background, like there's a certain store or anything. They can come and like sue you for that, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, you have to be careful of that.
I feel like you need a law degree to do this stuff. Like it's just so much.
So me, this is my approach. You kind of pick and choose. Like I don't see Apple stopping what they're doing to come and try to sue me.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can,
But I'm like, just being in Dallas, like there's so many like local spots out here. So just like seeing their perspective, not necessarily Apple, but like if you was to film in Deep Ellum, I would think that it might be, or maybe
No, they
not
can't.
be.
No, they anything that's public like that, they couldn't really come after me for. Now, if it's something private, that's different. Yeah.
Have you ever had any issues with people feeling like you had like favoritism for certain cast members compared to them?
If they did, they didn't tell me. Cause I'm pretty objective, just as a person. Like I try my best to be fair. Now,
Objective or fair?
objective is synonymous with fair. You know what I'm saying? I try to be I try to be fair and objective. I deal with everybody differently, but I deal with everybody equally.
based on just personality or emotions, or just knowing how to handle them.
Yeah, yeah. I try to develop a personal relationship and interaction with everybody, and you can't deal with everybody the same.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of personal, has any of this filming and directing has it crossed over into your personal life and affected it in any way?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because sometimes it's hard to draw the line.
Yeah, and then I can imagine 20 hours. What do you have time for?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And some things take a hit. Some things, they may suffer a little bit because of. But at the end of the day, you got 24 hours in a day, and you got to choose. So I don't do things based on the day. I do things based on the season. Now, you see, I got this stomach. I ain't never had a stomach like this before. I'm just being honest. But right now, it's the season to really concentrate on. Concentrate on that because you don't get it back. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, okay. So T want to know where you studied as a director.
Shout out to T, man. That was cool.
Did you study? Did you go to school for this?
I absolutely did not.
Okay. Some told me that.
I absolutely did not, man. I was just inspired by actually doing the first film, but right now my favorite director is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, so you like them like I will say like dramatic, not really dramatic. I don't know his I don't know. How do you explain a Quentin Tarantino movie? I feel like the dramatics. That's what I would say. Like the dramatics.
That's a good way to think of it. He definitely has some dramatics. I think my opinion is Quentin Tarantino exaggerates certain things in his movie.
The dramatics.
You know what I'm saying? I always talk about this since you brought this up. I always talk about this on the last film he did. Well, I think it's the last film, which was Django.
Yeah.
He has this scene where Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't remember the character name, but he has this interaction with his sister. And the relationship between the sister is weird because
when he's like treat them, he was like he was talking to a slave when she was like, "You want me to treat him like a white man?"
No, that's Candy. That's Candy, not Candy. He has this interaction. Leonardo DiCaprio, and for some reason I don't know if it's the hand or what, but I can't remember his character name. But he has this interaction. You remember that he had this interaction with his sister, and it was mad weird. Like he's touching her weird and all that. And it's a beautiful thing because when you're in film, you get to do what the fuck you want to do. You just have to make it believable. And he has this weird interaction with his sister, and he kind of teeter-totters on the stereotype that Angloid people, white people, they sometimes have a weird interaction with their family member, and he just kind of played with that a little bit, and I be thinking that's like borderline genius.
So you say actors are weird. Do you think directors are weird?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. And the reason why I think that is because I think that sets me apart. Now I'm weird, but I'm also connected. So you got some directors that are excellent at putting all the components together to make a perfectly quality film, and it's whack. But they didn't put together all these components and everything. They got all the relationships. They know all the politics. They know all the rules. And at the end of the day, you got something that's whack.
I feel like that's what he was trying to highlight on what's it called? With Kiana and his name. What's that dude from Blackish? He made Blackish, and what's it called on Netflix? Black as Fuck.
I ain't seen it.
You ain't seen Black as Fuck?
But it's a lot of stuff on Netflix.
But I feel like that's definitely in your lane. He highlights a lot of black directors. He puts them in the show, and he talks about one director.
I need to check it out.
Yeah, you do. He talks about one director, and I think he was talking about the Jordan Peele dude. He never said a name, but he was just like, his movies are whack. Like, why do we always like enjoy these movies? They're whack. And he wanted to give a name, but he had real people in there. He had like that girl. He had Tyler Perry. He had a few other people who were talking about it. But I'm like, that's definitely something you should watch. Black as Fuck was really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
And I feel like he's very weird. That's why.
I don't know if I can agree with Jordan Peele because Jordan Peele is very innovative. But what I will say, and this is the point I was making. A lot of these directors, they good at filmmaking, but they whack when it comes to making dope content. You know what I'm saying? And I think the difference is that I'm weird, but I'm not that damn weird. So, I had the ability to connect with normal people and normal shit and come up with something dope. Even if it's not this movie, even if it's the next movie, the movie after, I know that I got the ability to really come up with something dope. But I think that this film is definitely 3 or 4 tiers above the last one, and it's going to reflect how much I've learned.
That's good. Growth is always good. It's always good to reflect back and see how much you've grown.
Right.
What would you think, just from everything you do in movies back in 2014, you said compared to now, what would you think has been your biggest sacrifice?
Biggest sacrifice? You probably have to elaborate. What do you mean by biggest sacrifice?
Could it be your time? Could it be time, not being able to be with your family? Sacrifice, you didn't get to go do something you always wanted to do. You didn't get to go to school.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, what have you given up? What's been the biggest sacrifice since getting into this?
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, if I had a chance to choose, I would have sacrificed more. But I do tell my people that when they sleep, I'm thinking about film. When they wake up, I'm thinking about film. When they go to work, I'm thinking about film. So in that season, I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed my personal life. I sacrificed sleep.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's real talk. That's sleep.
Yeah, I sacrificed fun time. Like right now in this season that I'm at, I just don't picture just going to the club just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
there's no way I could. I might as well forget that idea. Yeah. I won't be able to do that. Yeah. But nothing worth anything. Anything worth something, it's gonna take sacrifice.
Sure.
You always determine how much you love something by how much you're willing to sacrifice for it.
Put your all into it.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, it has been a great interview.
Yeah, I enjoyed this, man.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, where can people find you? Let them know.
You can definitely look me up on Instagram. Search me on Instagram, director _ Mista Mista _ So director Mista E with the underscores in between.
_ Mista _
And y'all do me a favor, man. Please show up and show out to the TripleD Revenge. We're definitely gonna do a premiere. You know how we do. Anybody that was at the last one, we do it big. So man, y'all come on, show up and show out, man. Let's turn up for the DFW.
Let's do it. Do a red carpet event. Let me host it.
Okay. Well, that's what I did the last film. I did a red carpet event. We invited the press out. Dallas Morning News was there. D Magazine, Dallas Observer, World Star. But Punkin and them gonna be in the building. Punkin and them. I'm gonna be looking for that blue hair now. I don't see that blue hair.
No, I don't have this blue hair all the time. So this is new. This is for my birthday.
That's not what I said. I said that's what we're gonna look for. So
really?
Go on, get your rotation all the way out the way.
I might switch it up. I might do pink or red or something. We don't know. This wig might not last until that long. Since we don't have a date yet, but we'll try to see if this wig will last that long.
Cool.
But once again, thank you so much for coming on to the show. This was a great interview. I hope y'all got some insight. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram, and y'all make sure that you just support and be a part of TripleD movie, the TripleD Revenge movie, because this is something big. We're doing it for Dallas. He's staying in Dallas. He's trying to get his Dallas people on. So this is beautiful. People need to realize what's going on and how we're moving forward. And I just look forward to everything that you're doing and everything that you continue to do. So keep doing it because people are watching.
Thank you for your weird wishes, man. Shout out to Punkin. And shout out again to my cast and crew because I just wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Yeah, it takes a team.
Nah, straight up.
Village. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will be back next week. I will not prolong you all anymore. COVID can kiss my ass. We is back.
2020 can kiss my ass.
For sure. 2021 needs to hurry up and come around. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will be back next week like always. And I love all of you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. And y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all night. Bye.